Bitcoin has dropped. So is this the start of the bear market, or is this just a consolidation? Well, we're gonna check out a few different scenarios. So here is the first scenario where we count this move up as a impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're looking for a wave 5. So this is a valid count, but wave 3 here didn't really hit the 161.8, which is a very common target for wave 3. This is on the log scale, but if we switch to semilog, then it hit it. So yeah, we hit it, but we didn't hit it on log scale, which we usually do. So that is something to keep in mind. Maybe we are not really finished here, and more upside is still to come before we are going down. So the other scenario is that if we count this move as a WXY, and here we have a finished wave C. Same issue here with wave C though, that we didn't hit the 161.8, which is a common target for wave C. But in a wave C, it's more okay, I would say, to not hit the 161.8. It's more common that a wave C is like 138.2, 127.2, that kind of thing. So the issue here is that we didn't finish on a high amount of volume when we finished wave C, which is kind of a telltale that we are dealing with a wave C. But nonetheless, this is counting it as a W, X, and then a Y. And here we are looking for more downside. I mean, a deeper downside than in the previous scenario. So this is still corrective in its nature, and it's still going to take out the high. So here we are counting this just a little bit differently, but it's basically the same thought process. We are also considering this option, a longer ABC consolidation, where we have an A, W, X, and then A, B, C to a Y to finish wave B, and then we're moving down deep to finish wave 4. So this isn't really an option right now, but it can be a possibility, mainly because of this part here. We'll get to that. This doesn't really look impulsive enough to reach all the way down here. So here we'll have another scenario. This is a 1 2 1 2, and this count, yeah, it's okay, but you don't really want a second degree wave 1 after the first degree here to be longer than the first one. As you can see here, if we toggle on the 1 to 1, you can see that this wave 1 is way bigger than this wave 1. This is the 1 to 1 ratio, which we don't want to see in a 1 to 1 2 kind of scenario. It's not a validation, but it's just improbable. So if we take a look at this part now, the move down, is it impulsive or corrective? Well, if it is impulsive, then we are heading for lower prices. We get more strength basically in our movement. But if it's corrective, then it usually is a more shallow correcting structure if we are not starting with an impulse, as I mentioned. A corrective structure can also start with an impulse, but then it goes way deeper. So this first counted this as an A, B, C, W, X, Y, a double zigzag, which is a valid count. So this is the invalidation for a deep double zigzag. It's not a validation, but it's a fib target of 70. That pretty much implies that if we hit the 70, the chances for a double zigzag is slim. But we didn't hit it. So that means that a double zigzag is still up for consideration, which means that we are looking for a finishing wave C here to finish wave Y. And then we have a bigger double zigzag. This is basically the same idea, but here we are heading a little bit lower, I would say. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it's just another way of counting it. And this is basically the only bearish probable count we can come up with for this. So this is very interesting, because if this is the only bearish count, the other one fits so much better, then it is a higher probability it is corrective. And if it's a higher probability it is corrective, it is correcting something, and it's correcting this high. So then it automatically means that it has a higher chance of taking out this high sooner or later. And I mean, no one knows in time, but yeah. So if it's not impulsive, it's corrective, and then it will take out this high. So here we need to count this as a wave 1, because we can't count it at any other way. So we need like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't really fit a clear impulse here. I mean, you could argue, say that, well, you fit it with an ABC. Yeah, I mean, you can force fit it, so it doesn't really count well as either. But if you were to count an impulse here, you can't really count it like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you have overlap here with wave 4 and wave 1, which isn't allowed. So then you need to have a wave 1 here, wave 2, and then 3, and this is your 4. So then, I mean, it would be like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then your 4 would be like insanely short in time compared to wave 2. You can see it with your eyes that this wave 2 is enormous compared to wave 4. And you want to have proportions is a big part of Elliott waves. So this, to the naked eye, you can see that it is a 3 wave, 1, 2, 3. And if it's a 3 wave, then it is a corrective structure. But nonetheless, if we force count it to a 1, we need to put the 1 here. There's no other way to count this. Then we have a wave 2 here. Here is a nice impulse, or I mean, this part is more like a 3 waver, but we could argue that it's a hidden 4 here somewhere, but you get the picture. It doesn't really have the greatest count, if I put it like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have a wave 2 here, and now we're looking for more downside. But yeah, this doesn't look well at all. But I mean, stranger things have happened before, so we can never say for certain that this isn't an impulse down and then we are heading for way lower prices. Because if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, then wave 3 of this degree would be down here. Sorry. So it would be down here and at least down here. And I mean, we would go way down, basically. So yeah, that's the bearish count. Other than that, everything is pointing towards this being a corrective structure, and we will take out this high. That's the highest probability. And I also want to remind you of this. I showed this in the last Bitcoin video, the channeling technique. This is from Kennedy channeling. It's just a way of seeing the different moves, the different waves a bit clearer. So you can see here that the first corrective structure is well within the channel here. W, X, and Y finished here. And when we have a break of this channel with a close, with a strong candle, then you could say that we have a bigger chance of starting something new, which happened here. And you can see here that here we broke out of this channel where we moved up, with a big red candle, and now we are starting with this. And you can also see that even though we made this channel here in September, that this channel is still respected. You can see here that it bounced off it, which is interesting. So now it acts as resistance or support, however you want to call it. So yeah, keep an eye out on that as well. But according to the macro count, we are basically now, the highest probability is that we are looking for a wave 4. And I would guess that we are looking for like an W, WX, Y, and we're not really finished here, and we're going to go up and either continue through the roof, or we're going to have a like a B wave here, and then go down in a C to fake everyone out, and then go up again. So yeah, that was it for this Bitcoin update. Hope you're having a great evening.